Hey everybody, we have another tutorial here showing how to make a responsive web page, but it could easily be converted into a website. But we're just going to do the first page using Dreamweaver. And the only work I've done ahead of time was I have a folder that I put together with 3 images. This is going to be a Philadelphia Eagle site. So if you're not an Eagle fan, I don't apologize. Shame on you. But you'll just have to put up with that while we do this. So this is for our assignment where we're making a web page about something we're passionate about. Okay. So we have this here. I have 3 pictures. I just cropped them in Photoshop, 400 pixels by 200 pixels for all 3 of them. Pretty simple. And again, my plug for unsplash.com, great web page out there for free images that you can use for your stuff. And then the banner, nothing special. I made that on Photoshop as well. So that's the stuff we have right there. Now let's get started. So I need to go to Site and New Site. All right, and I'm going to just call this Fly Stands, the name of it. And then I'm going to find where I have that folder where I want to save all my work to. All right, so I found it there. I'm going to click Select. And that's pretty easy. Defining your site is easy. You'll notice it finds all my local files there and puts them all in there for that once I define the site. Okay, then I'm going to go to File and New Document, and HTML. And I'm going to go, for framework, I'm going to go none on this one. I'm just going to use basic HTML, 5 and CSS. It's going to be simple. Okay, so none. For the title, I'm just going to call the title for this maybe, I don't know, Go Birds, and create. All right, so we have this opened up here. Then the next thing I need to do once I've created this, I need to go File and Save As. And I am going to call this Index. We want it as index.html. Okay, saved it. We got that up there. Okay, pretty simple right there, right? Okay, so the next thing I want to do, we're just going to go through and get all the HTML part of this done first. Okay, so after the head section, okay, then we'll go down to where the body is. All right, and then underneath the body, we'll use the body tag. And there's a lot of different ways you can do that, but I'm just trying to make this be simple. Okay, so I got the body section there. Okay, I'm going to click in between. Almost just started doing the code, but I want to show you how to do this with Dreamweaver. Okay, so I'm going to go over to Insert on the right-hand side, and then I want to select Header. I'm going to scroll. Go make sure we're on HTML components. Here we go. Okay, now I should be able to find the header. So I'm going to click right here. It's going to ask me what I want to call the class for it, and it doesn't really matter too much. You don't have to give it one actually for what we're doing. So I'm just going to call this header. I'm just going to click OK. And then down in here it says header, gives me my open and close tags, and gives me my content for the header right there. Okay, so that's pretty easy right there. Now what I'm going to do is underneath header, I want to insert my navigation. Okay, and I'm not going to give it a class right at this time. I'm going to click OK, and we'll see here nav content for the nav tag goes here. All right, so we got that. Okay, then underneath that, I'm going to put in a section. And for the section, we'll just call it section for right now. And there's our content for the section. Now, we do want to put some things inside of here. So where it says click here for the content, I'm actually going to kind of move this down to give me some room to work with on here, all right? So I'm in the section, all right, and the first thing I want to do is I would like to put in a horizontal rule, all right? So I'm going to go underneath that. I'm going to put in my brackets down here in my code, and I'm going to put in HR. All right, and you'll see up here it puts our thing up there. Okay, so that's pretty easy. So I'm going to hit enter. All right, now I'm going to go over here and I want to insert an image. Okay, now the first image I'm going to put in here is going to be my first picture. Okay, so Eagle pick 1. All right, now down here I do want to give this a class. Okay, so after the img tag but before the src, okay, I'm going to click there and I'm going to type in class and equals quotation marks, and I'm going to call this text pick quotation marks. Okay, and that's so the styling can be used for that later on. As far as the size for this, I'm actually going to go in here and I'm going to remove this stuff. I'm going to remove that height and width on there. Okay, we can leave this here for now. We can always add text to that later, but for right now I think this will work for what we're trying to do right there. Okay, so we have that. That's for our first image, and then underneath that I want to put in and insert an H1. Okay, so if I go over and click on my headings and select that, there is an option in there for H1. Okay, so I'm going to go H1, and I'm going to put in this first one, I'm going to type in Super Bowl, LII. Okay, so we got that there. All right, then I want to go up here to where the paragraph is. And for the paragraph, I want to put in here with all the, I'm just putting in some text for this, okay? So I'm not going to put a lot in here for right now. With all the injuries that plagued the 2017 Philadelphia Eagles, next man up took on a whole new meaning. A cast of unlikely heroes that embraced an underdog mentality, never gave up on each other or their dream to bring Philadelphia its first ever Super Bowl. Okay, so we have that on there. That works out pretty good. All right, now I'm gonna, in the same section, I'm gonna go underneath that paragraph right there. Okay, and then I'm gonna put in another HR. So if I scroll down here, I have my next HR underneath there. Okay, underneath that HR, oops, there we go. underneath that HR, I'm going to put in another picture. So I'm going to go back up to image. Alright, I'm going to put in my second picture here. And the same thing as I did above, I want to add a class to this. So I'm going to go class equals text pic. Alright, and I'm going to take out the width and the height. Alright, so we got that there. And I'm calling this the same class as the one above because I want them to behave the same when I'm entering in my CSS. Make sure I'm recording. Okay, so we got that there. Alright, and then I can go in here now underneath the picture, and just like I did above, rinse and repeat. I'm going to put in an H1, and I'm going to put greatest fans. Alright, then underneath greatest fans, I'm going to put in a paragraph. It asks me in here to put in my content, so I'll just put in a little text here to give me something to work with. Philadelphia Eagles fans are known to be the most passionate in the NFL. Whether the Birds are having a great season or in a losing slump, you can always count on Lincoln Financial Field being sold out with an intimidating home field advantage. Alright, so we have that on there. Okay, now after that paragraph, we're just going to add one more part to this section. So I'm going to add another HR to make this be as consistent as possible. Alright, I want to put in here an image. And just as you guessed, I'm putting in image 3 down here. And just as you guessed again, I'm going to put in a class is equal to text pic. And we have this on here. Alright, so that's going to be the same thing. Now, one thing I did notice, I need to move this section up here. I need to close that tag out underneath this here. Wasn't paying attention. Alright, so we got that. We got the picture. Okay, we'll go ahead and we'll put in one more heading. Alright, and this one here, we will call this tradition. Underneath tradition, I'll put in a paragraph for my text to work with. And I'm just going to put in here, game day at the link has no equal. While taking in a game, you can enjoy the pep band, cheerleader performances, live on-site pregame radio broadcasts, and even meet Swoop the Eagle. Alright. Okay, so we have that on there. That's the end of the paragraph, and then I will put in one last horizontal rule. Alright, and then here's the end of the section. Alright, and then we will put one more thing after that section. Let's go down here, and we can insert a footer. And we'll Just have it be blank right there. And inside the footer, we can actually put in a paragraph. And then I'm just going to put in here, this website was created by Adam Peterson. And I'm going to use my trusty and copy, even though this isn't copyrighted, but just to show you like what you would be able to put down there. And we can use that entity code and copy semicolon for the copyright sign. Okay, and then we have that in there. Is that pretty good, I think? Let me think if there's anything else that I'm forgetting for this part down here. Looks pretty good. Yeah, I think that this can actually probably work out pretty nice. All right, so there's our page. Oh, up here, I guess we should probably up in the header, where I have header content goes here. I can go ahead and put that image in there of the banner I made. So I'm going to insert image up here. Okay, we have the image there for the header. I'm going to take out the words. I don't actually want those in there. Image. And I'm going to actually give this one a class, but I'm going to give this the class that I'm going to call banner, because I want it to behave a little bit differently than the others. And I am going to take out the width and the height for this on here. Okay, so there's the header. We did the sections. We're all done with that. That looks good. The nav, we can actually put in some stuff in here right now as well. Okay, so for the nav, I want to put in a div on this, and I'm going to give this a class of, I'm just going to call it top nav. All right, div class equals top nav, and underneath that, I think what I'll do is I'm going to insert some links for this. Okay, so I'm going to put in here hyperlink, and I'm going to call this one home. All right, in the target, I'm just going to put in a £, and then home. Okay, so it's a link, but it's not going to look like a link. Okay, and we have our anchor tag there, href. Target. Actually, you know what? I want to change this up just a little bit. This will actually be easier. Okay, so I'm going to go href. Okay, and I'm going to put equals, quotation marks, home. All right. So that's where the link would go for this, okay? And then after that, I'm going to put this first one. I'm going to go class is equal to active. And that's for something that we're going to use later on. All right? And then I can close this part up. Okay, now in between those, I can type in the word home. All right? Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to copy this. Okay? And I'm going to paste this 3 times, all right? And with these ones down here, the only thing I want to do differently is I want to take out the class I only want the current page to have the class with these. All right, so we'll take out class equals active out on those. All right, and then I'm going to change. I could actually leave all these as home if I want, but I'll just type in page 2, page 3, page 4. Okay, and then here I will put in I think I want maybe these to all be caps. It's all things we can change later, but so we have home, page 2, page 3, page 4. All right, so now as I take a look at this in here, this div class here, we have these all in here. Trev equals. Okay, so here's this on here, and then here's the end. And actually what I need to do then is take this. Golly, I got all sorts of things going on here. I need to take off this first div right here. Alright, so here this is class equals top nav, and we have that into there. Okay, and then we have our links, ahref, and then here's where the URL would go, where it's taking it to. For right now, we're just leaving it like that since I'm just doing one page and it's a demonstration. And there we have it. Okay, so I'm going to click File, and I'm going to click Save. And then we are done with the HTML part of this simple page. We have our header up here, we have our banner, we have our nav bar, we have some content with pictures, headings, and text, and we got our footer down at the very bottom. So in the next tutorial, I'll just call this one, responsive page template 1, and then we'll go have a part 2 on the next one where we will just do the CSS for this page, and we'll get it to where it looks like an actual web page. So thanks for watching this one, and we'll catch you on the very next one. That'll be part 2 for this one.